Here is something most nonprofits get completely wrong. The moment your event ends, your donors start forgetting. Not because they do not care, but because life moves fast. They wake up the next morning, they check their email, they scroll their phone, and 50 other things compete for their attention. If you are not in front of them within 48 hours of your event, you are losing donors you already earned. Today, I am going to show you exactly how to close that window and turn a one-time bidder into a long-term supporter. Welcome to the Million Dollar Nonprofit. Every day, I give you one specific, actionable tip to raise more money at your next event. No fluff, no theory, and no wasted time. Just real strategies backed by data from thousands of live fundraising events. If you are a development director, an auction chair, or anyone responsible for keeping donors engaged after the event, this one is for you. Now, before we get into it, I want to mention today's sponsor because it actually connects directly to what we are talking about. CharityAuctions.com powers thousands of nonprofit auctions every year, and one of the most underused features on their platform is the post-event donor data you get after every auction. Every bidder, every purchase, every giving level is captured and ready for you to act on. If you want to use that data to build a real follow-up system, they have a free donor thank you email templates pack at charityauctions.com/donor-emails. 5 done-for-you templates you can send within that 48-hour window. I will put the link in the show notes. All right, let us get into it. Research on donor retention consistently shows that the number one reason donors do not give again is not that they stopped caring about your cause. It is that they felt unappreciated after their first gift. They gave, they never heard from you in a meaningful way, and when your next event came around, they had already moved on emotionally. The thank you is not just a courtesy. It is the single most important retention tool you have, and the timing of it matters more than almost anything else. Here is what the data tells us. Donors who receive a personal thank you within 48 hours of an event are significantly more likely to give again the following year. That window is not arbitrary. It maps directly to how human memory and emotion work. Right after your event, your donor is still riding the high of the evening. They had a great time. They felt generous. They felt connected to your mission. That emotional state is your best asset. Every hour that passes without contact from you, that emotional state fades. By day 3 or 4, they are back in their normal routine and the moment is gone. So here are 3 specific things you need to do inside that 48-hour window. The first thing is to send a personal thank you email within 24 hours, not 48. I know I said 48 is the window, but your goal should be to beat it. The email does not need to be long. In fact, shorter is better. It needs to do 3 things. It needs to address the donor by their first name, it needs to reference something specific about the event, and it needs to tell them exactly what their contribution is going to do. Not in vague terms like your support makes a difference, in specific terms. Something like, because of what you gave last night, we can fund 10 additional scholarships this year. Specificity is what makes a donor feel seen. Generic gratitude is forgettable. Specific gratitude is what people forward to their spouse and talk about at breakfast. The second thing is to make at least one phone call to your top 25 donors within 48 hours. I know that sounds like a lot of calls, but think about what it means to receive a personal phone call from the executive director or the board chair the morning after an event. It is rare, it is memorable, and it costs you nothing but time. The call does not need to be scripted. It can be 30 seconds. Hey, I just wanted to personally call and say thank you for being there last night and for your generosity. It genuinely means everything to us. That is it. No ask, no agenda. Just a human being calling another human being to say thank you. Donors who receive that call are far more likely to upgrade their giving the following year because you made them feel like a partner, not a transaction. The third thing is to post a public thank you on social media that your donors can see themselves in. This one is underestimated. Within 24 hours of your event, post a genuine, specific recap on your social channels. Tag the venue, tag your sponsors, mention the total raised, and most importantly, acknowledge your donors as a community. Something like, last night, 240 of the most generous people in this city came together and raised $112,000 for our kids. We are overwhelmed and grateful. When your donors see that post, they feel proud. They share it. They show their friends. And that public acknowledgement reinforces their identity as a generous person connected to your cause, which is exactly the identity you want them to carry into next year's event. So to recap, the 48-hour window is real, and it is closing the moment your event ends. Send a personal, specific thank you email within 24 hours that tells donors exactly what their gift will accomplish. Make personal phone calls to your top 25 donors within 48 hours with no agenda other than genuine gratitude. And post a specific community-focused thank you on social media that lets your donors see themselves as part of something meaningful. If you do all three of these things consistently after every event, your donor retention rate will climb. And a 10% improvement in donor retention is worth more to your organization long term than almost any other strategy you can implement. If you want a head start on the email piece, grab the free Donor Thank You email templates pack from charityauctions.com/donor-emails. All 5 templates are written and ready to customize. You can have your first email out the door in under 10 minutes. I will see you tomorrow for another tip to help you build $1 million nonprofit.